Hello, Justice Warriors. Good morning. It's Sunday. It is April 2nd, and I took the whole day off yesterday, so I felt like I had to get this put out early this morning, or not too early. It's almost noon, but early for a Sunday. Anyway, everything I say is simply my opinion. It's simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion with you guys. And all my videos are made specifically for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. However, I do aim to be educational and to gain education for myself. So that's kind of my purpose here in YouTube land. So please hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. So I spent yesterday swimming and gardening, mostly gardening. I got an entire cubic yard of mulch, like it's called triple gold mulch. It's like cotton candy. Anyway, not to go on about my gardening fetish. I literally got the entire thing spread out in one day, which is a miracle. So now I need to go get another cubic yard. But when I'm doing these things like gardening and swimming and really just clearing my head and not thinking about true crime, that's when I have the clearest, I'd say almost clairvoyant thoughts. I don't want to say clairvoyant because they're just thoughts, they're just normal, average brain leaks, as AD, armchair detective would say. Another brain leak. Oh no. So remember in the Kylie Rodney case, remember when Elsa or Jane Doe number one or Jane Doe number two, or I don't know, any of the above? Remember when they spoke about Kylie falling in a hole? I think that that's more significant than I had thought before. I think that she was in a hole at some point and that we need to pay attention to that. I don't know exactly what. I hate to say this. I don't know if it was like a temporary shallow grave. I don't know if maybe it's where they took that picture of her in the plaid shirt. The flannel shirt that's kind of like a rust color and burgundy. The one that says sleepy or sleeping. And then I think they superimposed it to make it look like she was in the back of an SUV or something like that. Anyway, there's so much funky stuff going on in that case. And I just got to say, I am extremely grateful for all the channels that keep plugging away at it. And I'm also extremely grateful for this new channel called Army for Jesus. And she has come out just to address the Kylie Rodney case. So thank goodness for her and others like her. Um, Hopping over to the Moscow 4 real quick. Remember when the police department spokespeople, Roger Lanier and Chief Fry, remember when they started saying things like, we don't know if any of the people in this house were targeted. We're wondering if maybe the house itself was targeted. That seemed to go over with the public about as well as when Sammy and Kate Cunio said that party was like Lord of the Flies, right? They said that, it fell flat, and they tried to take it back. They tried to pretend like they never said it. So the police department kind of did the same thing with this house being the target concept. At first, I thought it was the most laughable thing in the world, but now I'm thinking they would not have said that if they didn't have a reason to say it. And I asked this question in one of my videos a week or two ago. What could that possibly mean? Like, why would a building be targeted? Why would anybody hate the building? Why would anyone want to be so violent towards individuals that are in that building? And then I think the answer is in the question. I'm going to keep this one real short. Anyway, the house being the target, I think we need to continue to consider that as one possibility, as maybe part of the puzzle. There's another part of the puzzle that I know a lot of people are looking at right now because of the the Brady Giglio, Giglio, Gigolo um, implications. So I think that Brady Giglio is coming from directly the lawsuit that I think it's Douglas Wilson, the father of the two Wilson boys, and he's the pastor for the Church of Christ. And he wrote a book a year and a few months ago called No Quarter November. So he has a lot of vitriol towards the Moscow PD. I think it might stem around the whole like mask wearing thing. They've got all these videos that they've made. It's really bizarre. So there's another new channel who I want to give a shout out to. I'm going to put it in the comments because I want to communicate with her directly first and make sure that it's okay to give her a shout out. So she's been focusing a lot on these movies, but those boys are and their father are suing the Moscow PD and the city of Moscow for use of excessive force. And, I've said it before, use of excessive force looks really bad on law enforcement. Law enforcement nationwide is trying to rebuild trust after the whole thing with BLM and George Floyd. And, it's a hot political topic that is something that I try to stay away from politics in my true crime, but it's also kind of impossible. Um, anyway, the upset about the masks and these weird videos about, what was that one quote? Because we Karen, and kind of a hypnotic thing going back and forth and saying there are no stickers on signs. What are stickers? What is Moscow? What are Moscow? I mean, these videos are bizarre, and they're starring Douglas Wilson. They're all about arson and burning stuff up and having thought crimes. Is that like a brain leak? There's like a Charles Manson thing. If you think it but don't do it, it's okay, even if you influence other people to do it, as long as it's okay with your God. Who cares what other gods or what mere mortals think? Arson is so dangerous. It's not just dangerous for the community, it's dangerous for the first responsive community. It's really rare to have fires. And to have so many fires in a town the size of Moscow is obvious, obvious arson. There's no question. So, it's hard to say some of these things that I portray in my videos. And I just want to address the day before yesterday. It was my last live. I said a lot of things I didn't want to say. Before I made that video, I was like, how can I make this video without saying all these things that I don't want to say? And I'm like, you know what? Those are the most important things to say. You have to be careful about how you say them and when you say them, but you can't be afraid to speak your mind. You just can't. That's no way to live. Here we've got freedom of speech. There's other countries where you don't have freedom of speech, where you're not free to criticize your government or any other agency of what? Fascism. so so we live in a country where it's okay to criticize authority and to ask questions, and it's really important to ask questions. And when it is not safe to ask questions, that's when it's not safe, period. And not asking those questions isn't going to make you any safer, in my humble opinion. So I'm going to sign off here. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you early in the week, and make sure you drink your water, eat well, protein, high produce, lots of veggies, get fresh air and sunshine. Most importantly, get your sleep. And most importantly, be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Show respect to others. Make sure people show you respect. And forgiveness is huge. If you can forgive yourself and if you can forgive others, you are going to be free of a lot of hostility and anger that can just really poison yourself, poison your body, poison your soul, can cause a lot of physical ailments as well as depression. It's so important to forgive. So keep on keeping on. Peace out. Have a great day. Sending you light, sending you love. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys.